The final category of experiences we make is by far the most complex, and that is procedure demonstration. Now, this can be completed with a simple 360 video. We just record the person doing what they normally do, having them explain the procedure while demonstrating it. Then it's finished. We could add a simple quiz at the end to make it a 360 hybrid, or break up each step with a question of what the person should do next and make the audience prove they know the steps in the procedure. When it comes to a full CGI experience, though, things can get very complicated very quickly. It really comes down to determining what has the most educational value for this specific procedure. We don't need to get bogged down trying to simulate the physics of loosening all these bolts. We just need the person to know that all these bolts need to be removed and you need a wrench to do it. So we'll kind of automate the interaction with the tools with animation and just focus on showing the order of operations and which tools are required for each step. Because the more unique objects and interactions you add, the more modeling, texturing, and programming involved, and that's where all your time and energy is going to get used up. This confined spaces experience is an excellent example of why immersive media works. You can practically smell the environment just by looking at it. We see this tube pumping fresh oxygen into the room. The worker has a safety harness with a little line hooked to it in case they have to haul him out of there unconscious. And he's doing some very hands-on work in this muddy watering hole. You're going to know pretty quick whether this is the right career path for you. But you're not necessarily going to remember every step of the process just by observing it. By making an interactive procedure demonstration, we increase the likelihood the information sticks, but we don't want to get hung up on excessive details. Take putting the safety harness on, for example. Kind of a complex task, so instead we save learning the intricacies of how to do that for the real world and just focus on making you aware this step exists. Because making a 3D model of that harness is one level of difficulty, but making it flexible and every buckle and strap interactive is probably as complicated as the entire rest of this experience combined. So you have to pick your battles. I've had trainers tell me they'll work with new hires that literally don't even know how to hold a hammer, and maybe it would be worth it for us to include that in this sim instead of just letting you grab the hammer from any angle. And since this is a full CGI experience, we could always go back and add that later on, either by snapping the hammer into the correct position in your hand or not letting you proceed until you're holding it correctly. When it comes to procedure demonstration, there really is no limit to how intricate things can get. In the next video, we'll show you an example of how some of these step-by-step functions get built inside the game engine.